Okay, we just got done finishing net pay. So basically, you take columns net pay. You take your column 3 minus column 9, and that gives you column 10, which is your net pay. Okay, and that's how you calculate that. You just go across for each employee and do that, and then you do total the bottoms, the columns going down, and total those across. When you write them a check, as you can see, there's a check number in the column next to the net pay. That would be the check number that is written. Okay. And you should just add up and make sure that number 12 there, total, improve, and rule the payroll register, total each column, subtract the total deductions column from the total earnings column. So to figure this out, you take your total deductions column, which is 9, minus your total earnings, and that should give you your net pay. That should equal out, and that'll give you that. Okay, so that's how you do the payroll register for employees. Pretty simple. Okay, next, now, so that last one was payroll register for all the people working for you. Now you have individual payroll records for each employee. As you can see on page 353, you have a payroll register, which has Rick Selby on it. And then below that, you have an earnings record for quarter ended for Ricky Selby. And you can see it's got its employee number, name, and then marital status and withholding amounts. And listed going from the top to the bottom are the different pay periods going across. 10/15, 10/31, 11/15, 11/30, 12/15, 12/31. Those are all different pay periods. And you would just keep adding to the bottom of that each pay period. And you would transfer the information from the payroll register to the payroll record earnings sheet. Okay. All right. So we're going to kind of go through that and go to 354. It'll explain us. 1, you're going to enter the last day of the yearly quarter, dated December 31st, 2020, at the top. Okay. 2, enter the employee's name, number, marital status. So you're going to enter in there what they make, their hourly rate, marital status, and withholdings. 3, you're going to enter. So this is where we got to really figure it out. Enter the fiscal year's accumulated earnings for the beginning of the current quarter. This information is taken from the ending accumulated earnings from the previous quarter. Mr. Selby's accumulated earnings for the first 3 quarters ended are $18,432. The accumulated earnings column of employee earnings record shows earnings since beginning of the quarter. So 3 is kind of tricky. It's not as hard as it sounds. But if you look on 353, column 11 at the top, it says 18,432. Okay, that's what they're talking about. That 18,432 is basically the amount of money he's been paid from your business for up to the year up to that point, 18,432. So you just keep track of that. So on the next one, number 1, 10, the pay period 10/15, you write in all the information. Okay, and then when you get to net pay, that's column number 10. It's $869. You're going to add that to the accumulated earnings column, the $18,432 plus $869.67, and then you have a new balance there of $19,482. So you always want to keep track of that accumulated earnings. That will also help you with some of your taxes. Okay. 4, you're going to enter the ending date of the pay period being recorded. 5, enter the earnings, deductions, and net pay in the columns for the employee's record. So that's like if the ending date would be 10/15, that's where you just start writing in all of going across the information for that pay period. Your pay, your deductions, your net pay, and your accumulated earnings. Okay. 6, add the current pay period total earnings to the previous pay period. So that's just like what we talked about. In this case, you're going to take the 869 plus the 18,432, and it gives you the 19,482. You're going to do that each time after you put in a pay period's amount of information. Always get the up-to-date calculated earnings. Okay.